On an island, a biotechnology company is committed to maintain the grounds of an exclusive golf club in a community in Montreal, Canada. They spray the area with the most recent fertilizer, which melts the snow to keep the lawn cool and green during the winter, so that rich people can play golf all year round. The next day, the security guard brings supplies to his home. He is an obsessed survivalist, always preparing for the worst, and loves a radio show on conspiracy theories. That night, Dan trains to make fire without a match. Without success, he takes a rifle cartridge to use the powder and causes a small explosion. When his daughter arrives, he has a red face. We meet Andre, an introverted boy who hates taking care of his little sister Anne so that his mother can double her working hours. Meanwhile, Camilla, the babysitter, must stay with the family at the golf club. Dan's daughter Patricia works as a caddy, the person who runs the golf clubs, while Michael, the CEO of the biotechnology company, plays with rich couple to show off how well the lawn is doing thanks to the treatment of his company. However, in the ground, fertilizer particles multiply too quickly and contaminate the city's water. In a studio, an actor named Jake drinks a glass of tap water before going out. At the market, all fruits and vegetables are washed with the same water without knowing that they are contaminated. Suddenly, Jake starts to feel a little dizzy. When he arrives at his house, he notices that his teeth turn green and his stomach gurgles. When he joins his wife, he is already a complete crazy zombie. He bites the woman, making her transform as well. Jake joins her and they both have green eyes. Back at the club, Patricia, Michael, and the rich couple return to the main building and are surprised to see that no one is there. Suddenly, a man comes out screaming to hide, and soon a group of zombie employees appears to chase him. At this moment, Ruby, the little dog of the lady, also appears. She calls him, but this little animal jumps at her furiously and bites her. Michael and the husband immediately moves away from the dog, and the other zombie appears while the woman transforms. The men run inside the building and locks the doors to keep the zombie outside. Ruby, the little zombie dog, manages to infiltrate and bites her owner on the leg. Then they lock her in another room. The zombie gather at the door and start hitting before the old man also transforms and starts chasing Michael. He runs to hide in the kitchen and takes a knife. In town, Dan receives a call from a lady who says that her neighbors are making a lot of noise and are fighting on the shore, and when he rings the doorbell, the neighbors throw themselves against the door, revealing themselves to be zombies. At the same time, the old lady also transforms and starts chasing Dan around the car. He manages to enter and tries to call the reinforcements, but no one answers. While other zombies appears outside the window, Dan also tries to call Patricia, but she does not answer because she is busy trying to escape with the zombies. Worried, Dan tries to abandon the company car and takes his own vehicle with a gun to look for his daughter. Meanwhile, Andre uses almost tap water to make milk for his sister, but his mother reminds him to use bottled water. Andre never drinks water because he prefers soda. Soon the mother starts to feel bad too, and Andre thinks it's because of the exercises. Except that a few moments later, his mother turns into a zombie and tries to attack Andre, chasing him in the kitchen and then in the house. Terrorized, the boy runs outside and rumbles, but when his mother is about to catch him, Dan hits her with his car. She is still alive, but with a broken leg. Andre wants to help her, but Dan prevents him, saying that she has a zombie crisis and tells Andre to head at home. Then he just leaves, leaving the boy there. However, other zombies arrive and Andre catches his mother by legs and drags her inside the home. After running to close all the doors, he tries to call for help and receives a recorded message saying that the island is in a quarantine. On the bridge that connects the island to the continent, the city police have placed a barrier and no one can enter or leave. At that moment, Andre's mother tries to attack Anne, so Andre drives her away and locks her in the bathroom. The mother notices that the shower is dripping and decides to enter the bathtub because it seems that the water attracts the zombies. During this time, Anne continues to cry, causing the zombies to gather outside. Andre gives her pillows, a blanket, and even a big plush, until her tears can no longer be heard. The zombies leave, and few moments later, Andre's cat returns. A zombie passes his arm inside, barely missing from catching Andre. He moves away, and the zombie mysteriously stops moving. Andre returns with the golf club, but he does not have the courage to hit him and hides. At the golf club, Patricia hides in the garage and finally calls her father to come get her because she needs help. Anne then arrives and finds a bunch of zombies outside, but does not hesitate to face them, quickly killing a few with the knife and throwing others to run inside. During this time, the police move away from the bridge barrier because the military arrived by plane to bomb the main areas of the land. The bombing cuts off all the electricity there. The next morning, Camilla, tries to cross the bridge to go to work, but discovers that it has also been destroyed. During this time, Andre films the zombies through the window, and after realizing that his battery is almost empty, he sees a press conference from the Minister of Public Security on Facebook. The minister explains that they had to destroy the bridge to solve the problem and swears that the situation is under control. At this moment, Andre's phone finally breaks down. He goes to see his mother and notices that she is covered in green substance. But Anne climbs up to her and the mother tries to attack him. Andre makes noises and shakes his favorite vegetables to make her follow him. When they arrive in the living room, the mother accidentally hits the TV cabinet and the 70-inch device falls and crushes his zombie head. Devastated, Andre has no choice but to bring the body back to the bathroom and notices that grass grown on his wounds. Then he takes his phone but it's broken now. Tired of confinement, he takes a golf club, puts Annie in a baby carrier, and opens the door allowing the zombies to see the cat and chase him. Once the way is clear, Andre runs as fast as he can to the grocery store while the zombie chase him. The doors are locked, but suddenly one of them opens and shoots him inside. Dan has been there since the day before, where he has set up a small camping space, but he has no plan. All the boats have been taken away, and swimming in the river had killed them cold. Andre goes to get food for the baby, while Anne looks around her and discovers there's a zombie behind locked door. It's Patricia, who had been infected. Dan keeps her close to him because he hopes that someone will find a cure. Later at the golf club, Michael had fortified all the doors and used a radio to talk to the people of the company, which informs him that experts are on their way and that he must follow the protocols. The zombie dog keeps barking at him, so he kicks him and throws him away. Michael had also killed his zombie friend in the kitchen. Back at the store, Dan still fails to light a fire, but Andre simply uses a lighter. Later, while eating, they listen to Dan's favorite radio show, which attributes the zombie attack to an attack from another country. The presenters manage to interview the Minister of Security, but it is the typical politician who avoids questions or answers with vague words. Suspicious, the presenter thinks that the government will sacrifice all the citizens to clean the area. Dan decides to call the radio station to explain that there are survivors and ask for help. However, the presenter emphasizes that the rest of the world does not want to be infected and wants to know what is happening. Frustrated because he trusted this show, Dan hangs up. Then he and the boy discuss the options and agrees that they must discover the cause of all of this, because maybe with this they can create a vaccine. Dan thinks about it and comes to the conclusion that it could only come from water, because it is the only thing that all people have in common. He does not drink the water from the tap because of a conspiracy theory and thinks that he could even have poisoned the water, but Andre finds it ridiculous. Then the trio leaves the store with Patricia, who was placed in a cargo to avoid the bites. They find a group of zombies covered in green substance looking to enjoy the sun. A girl attacks Dan as soon as she sees him, and he repels her quickly. He does not kill her either because he thinks she's someone's daughter, and they leave. Meanwhile, the two twin women are sent by the biotechnology company to the golf club and kill all the zombies that appear in front of them. Inside, Michael burns all the contracts and documents related to club agreement, but still keeps a small sample of the fertilizer. The twin find it soon, and Michael takes a suitcase containing the spears with a remedy that will end the infection in 24 hours. But when he takes one, the twin captures him and forces him to eat the fertilizer sample. While she drags her body away, the sphere of remedy falls to the ground. The group arrives at the water treatment station and leaves Anne in the car. They can't leave Patricia with the baby, so Dan and Andre take her with them. When they enter the building, where a zombie is hiding in the water, Patricia starts running quickly to find the pool and jumps there. It seems that the zombies like water, so Dan also jumps to rescue her. Suddenly, another zombie resurfaces, but when Dan finds Patricia and holds her in front of him, the other zombie retreats. However, he wants to catch Andre and starts chasing him. As he leaves, another zombie joins the chase. Andre even throws a waste barrel in vain. Dan tries to get Patricia out of the water and accidentally tears her arm off. Andre arrives at the car to hide, and soon after, Dan comes out using Patricia as a shield to stay away from the zombies. In the car, Andre sees that Patricia also has a phone. He takes it, uses his arm to unlock it, which makes him notice that there is grass growing on his wound. Dan finds it strange that there is grass in the winter, until he remembers that the club's most recent innovation, realizing that it is the work of the biotechnology company. At the golf club, the twin begins to break spears on the grass to get rid of all the evidence. Dan's group arrives and notices that there is a strange smoke on the lawn. Andre films everything, and after having managed to enter, Dan locks Patricia in the shed. While Andre uses chairs to form a park for Anne, Dan and Andre find the little dog, who breathes but is covered in grass. At this moment, Dan begins to feel dizzy. Anne begins to cry, so Andre runs to catch up with her and sees that she has escaped. Andre goes out to look for her, while Dan goes down a dark corridor and discovers a series of bombs that will blow up the building in no time. He also begins to feel worse, but refuses to give up and continues until he finds the timer for the explosions. Dan falls because he's too weak and uses Patricia's arm to stop the timer. His eyes become so green. The twin notice that nothing has exploded. Return to the building, find Anne in the kitchen and feed her with fertilizer. Andre continues to look for her and sees Michael zombified in a locked room. So he runs to kitchen and finally finds his sister. But when he comes out, he finds Anne in a corridor with the twins, which encircles him. She covered her mouth and ants and catches Andre's to feed him with fertilizer. However, Anne has also turned into a little zombie and bites one of the twins. When she pushes her back, Andre pushes the other and Dan dies. Andre also walks on the medicine spear, making sure that the dose spreads in the whole room and begins to act inside his sister and Dan. After the attack, Dan begins to chase Andre and they arrive at the kitchen. But when Dan wants to bite him, he feels the presence of little Anne, who is a zombie, and retreats. At the same time, the twin gets up and shoot each other before transformation, which makes no sense since they have the remedy. Then Andre takes Dan's old phone and turns it on. When he finds the device, he makes a video explaining everything and begging for help. While the video comes to the news, Andre takes Dan to the dumps so that he can stay with his daughter. Shortly after, the government sends army helicopters for a thorough cleaning. A group of soldiers use flamethrowers to burn and kill all the zombies on their way. Andre goes out to ask for help. However, the army eliminates everyone, even the survivors. While the remedy works, Anne improves and Andre decides to hide at the golf club. Dan also recovers, but when the soldiers open the door, even if he says he's fine, he burns him immediately, mercilessly with his daughter. The Minister of Public Security announces that the infection has been contained. But he is seen drinking in a cup with the logo of biotechnology company, showing that he was part of the conspiracy. Andre continues to wander and find other bodies of the survivors who have been killed. Suddenly, he notices something in the river. It's a volunteer boat led by the babysitter Camilla, who saves him by pure luck. Andre realizes that Patricia's arm is now useless. As he leaves the island, he throws it into the water, but it is the central supply channel for other cities. A fish bites the arm and quickly turns into a zombie. That's how this film comes to an end.